Skydance is currently in a process of acquiring MTV, Nickelodeon and Comedy Central's parent company Paramount Global, with the deal valued at $8 billion. The deal is expected to close in the first half of 2025 and, similar to the Canal Plus/MultiChoice deal, was undergoing media scrutiny. New Paramount, or Paramount Skydance Corporation, is the purposed name for the merged company if Skydance acquires Paramount. What's outlined, they're looking to increase their reach, with New Paramount venturing into sports and gaming, with some citing Hasbro and Take One as potential investments. In general, New Paramount is doing what Canal Plus disliked about MultiChoice: diversification. Although these endeavors could leave you with extra money in your pocket, for MultiChoice they let its pay TV market crash, which is where Paramount resides with MTV and Nickelodeon. Skydance and Paramount are looking to slash costs, which amounts to $2 billion, and there's a moderate to high chance this will affect MTV's suite of channels globally. According to an article on THR, new management doesn't view this offering as a priority like CBS. They're likely to follow Comcast and Warner Bros. Discovery in streamlining their endeavors, which will lead to reduced content and channel closures. Paramount has made several attempts at selling BT and Showtime, so that could enter into the equation. At the moment, Skydance only views Paramount's studio and streaming endeavors as a priority, so most probable guesses is they'll reduce their linear footprint by slashing their operations in Europe and Asia. Especially if they're generating very little revenue, and obviously this will lead to job losses. Another scenario would be spinning most of its cable networks, which include BT, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon and MTV. From what some platforms outlined, MTV Studios produces cheaper content, so I'd imagine Skydance would want something on par with HBO, which is CBS. If anything, Paramount will most definitely keep its other studios, including that of Nickelodeon Animation, and integrate it with Skydance's existing lineup. The cable networks alongside MTV Studios become a separate entity, presumably called MTV Entertainment Corporation. MTV Entertainment Corporation could enter into various agreements with Paramount when it comes to IPs such as SpongeBob SquarePants and The Loud House. But then again, if Paramount is diversifying to gain extra revenue streams, I'd imagine them wanting to close a couple of channels globally. Internationally, Netflix has been licensing a batch of content from Nickelodeon, so I'd imagine a couple of those channels closing in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Most kids are watching content online, and if these networks aren't bringing the income, I'd imagine them wanting to sort out third parties. Look at BritBox. When it was launched in South Africa, most consumers sought to MultiChoice for its lineup, with BBC even licensing content exclusively. Some sought how BBC executed its rollout as a reason for its downfall, but if I had to guess, it mainly derived from a competitive landscape. In South Africa, we have a number of streaming services from Netflix, Amazon Prime Video and Showmax. As you know, not everyone can pay for this bulk of platforms. BritBox was a pay service, and with existing competitors, most would have likely paid if the content was with their current provider. That's the same rationality management at HBO Max opted for when removing most of Cartoon Network's shows. They couldn't get it monetized as the audience was very small, but the moment these shows popped up on other providers, it started garnering traction, and Warner was able to capitalize on its success.